Okay, in this tutorial, we're going to kind of go over just the very basics of constructing feet. Similar to other parts of anatomy, constructing feet is about breaking it down to its basic geometric shapes and paying attention to anatomical landmarks. And when you're practicing and studying, that's what you're really trying to do, is remember the shapes that you want to break it down to and its landmarks. So essentially, you're going to start with kind of a wedge shape. We're going to be looking at the foot from the kind of the top. So it's this kind of wedge sort of shape, and similar to the hand, it's going to be a little more wider where the big toe is going to be, and smaller, more narrow where the little toes are going to be. Then, of course, you basically throw in your knuckles. The knuckles are going to help you determine the width, how thick each toe is. And they should kind of look, at least the way it was described to me in school was, it should look like, rocks or something, just these circles that start off really large for the big toe and get gradually smaller as you get down to the smaller toe. When you're drawing in the toes, this is where it's going to come into some observation in terms of, just like the fingers, they have 3 sections except for the toe. Like the thumb has 2 sections. Technically, the 3rd section is right up in here. And then it's paying attention to the landmarks on how long the toes are. So the width of them is determined by the width of your knuckle. And you can see that, like, for example, the small toe stops at, and these lines indicate where knuckles would go, where the toe bends at. So the small toe, the baby toe, stops at where the first knuckle is going to go in the second toe. And then the second toe stops at about 1/4, just a little bit past. And that your third toe is going to be just like the second toe, just shy of it in length, but definitely not longer than this toe. And then, of course, our big toe is going to be small, and then the joint is going to fall for the big toe right in between the second juncture of the second toe. So it's, just, you're not going to get down in there with a ruler or anything, but you just want to kind of remember, how you determine the thickness and just approximately where the toes anatomical landmarks are. When drawing the ankles, the Achilles goes into the foot and is about the width as it goes up. Your ankles is one that I was kind of surprised when I learned it, is that they're at like a 45-degree angle. So your inside ankle is always going to be higher than your outside ankle. And so you draw the outside ankle from, basically the kind of the base of the arch. And when you draw it, then you just basically shoot straight across on a diagonal angle to start at the top of the inside angle. And then when you draw it down, when you line it up, they should be pretty close to one another. So it's almost like they line up top to top, bottom to bottom, but just not straight across. They're going to line at an angle. And that's the real basics of the basic anatomy and anatomical landmarks for the foot.